Something a little bit different in today's video. We've got the ASI Paratrooper. Now this is on their ASI Paratrooper accurate firepower. These were made, I believe, 1968 to about 75, something like that. It's a break barrel. It did have fixed sights on the end. I have it because it's bust off. I've just tapped it off. It's got like splines on it. Tapped it off, turned it around and tapped it back on because the end of the barrel looks a bit silly. Open sights at the back here. Should have a windage wheel and everything. That's long gone. It does have an 11mm rail on it, so I've just thrown on a cheap as chips Gamo scope, which is quite fitting really because the ASI Paratrooper is made by El Gamo, imported into the UK. Obviously we're in France, but it's since ended up here by ASI, which is Anglo-Saxon or Anglo-Spanish imports, something like that. Yeah, Anglo-Spanish imports. So anyway, if you want to know history, you can't really find out that much about it. I think this is plastic. The stock is definitely plastic. Now what is peculiar is the trigger is here, but the cylinder starts here. Now normally with a traditional air rifle, the trigger would be right back here. Let me just show you for an example. We've got this one here. Cylinder stops there. There's the trigger. That would be your traditional style. This is more like your bullpup that we know of today. So old El Gamo was way ahead of their time. You could get this in a 177, a 22 or a repeater. The repeater had like a little tube that ran down the top. It was sprung loaded. You used to put 25 pellets in it. Every time you cocked it, it pushed the pellet into the breech. I have already shot this through the chronograph. It is very down on power, 4.5, maybe 5 joules. So what's that, about 3 foot, maybe 4 foot-pounds. They weren't ever so powerful when they were new. I think there was only about 7 foot-pounds. But we're going to shoot it and see what we think. I say I'm not holding out a lot of hope because this scope is hopeless. It hardly magnifies it at all. My eyesight's not the best, so I need all the help I can get. Right, let's fire some pellets down the range and see what we can hit. I didn't do a lot of shooting with this, the ASI Paratrooper, but it seems to be, it gets on target. It's not ever so powerful. We was only shooting at 10 metres. I don't think it would be very accurate past that. It hits that bottle target quite nicely. You know, the scope on it is hopeless, but it works. So the next thing is, what do we do with it? Do we strip it down and rebuild it? I can still get parts for this. I can get springs and seals and bits and pieces. It will be interesting to see the mechanism, you know, the trigger mechanism. The trigger is so heavy on this rifle. It feels sort of okay when it's like this, but once it's cocked, that's the trigger is so hard it's so easy to pull the rifle off of target. That is the only downside. But whether that's what air rifles, I mean, I've got my dad's BSA Cadet. I can't remember what bloody model it is now. That feels like it's nowhere near as hard as this. So let me know what you think we should do with it. Obviously I could see if I get sights for it, because the ASI Sniper and the Gammatronics or something, which was available in Germany. So I should be able to get parts, like the rear sight and the front sight. Obviously the wood will have to stay, the imitation wood I should say. I mean, it is plastic. There is a serial number on it somewhere, so whether we clean all the metalwork up and just oil it, let me know. The more people that watch this video and click subscribe, click the old thumbs up, and we'll get this video pushed on, the more it earns me, then I can put the money back into the rifle. Obviously parts are not that expensive, but it all costs money, doesn't it? So the more people that watch this video, the better. So if you want to see this sort of restored, it won't be a concourse restoration, it'll be just a working restoration. We'll try and clean this metal up somehow, bit of wire wool or something, and the cylinder, just try and get some of these rust pits off of it. And it might just end up being a little plinking gun that we've got hanging up on the wall. But yeah, it's quite accurate. If you can keep it on target with this trigger, whether I can polish the trigger up, give it a little bit of a trigger job, I don't know. I have got an exploded diagram for this, but I really don't know what it's like inside. But it works, and yeah, accurate firepower. Well, it might be accurate, but I don't think it's got a lot of power. So yeah, hope you like this video. Please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.